All right, what's going on, guys? Corey here with the Law and Lacrosse Journal. Got my man Austin Shanks on the line. Austin, how you doing over there?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. So let's talk real quick. Give us some background on who you are, man, and and when you started, playing this great game.
So I started a little bit later than most, but I was still a young kid. I started when I was about 10. So like I found a lot of the guys I played with out here played box, and they all started really young. But I played soccer and like all the other sports. I wanted to play hockey, obviously. It was just expensive, and my parents didn't want to wake up really early. So I changed schools when I was a bit younger, and then eventually my first friend, he was signing up for lacrosse, and I went home with the flyer and was like, "Mom, please, 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 please." So they let me play house league my first year. Then my next year, I asked to try out for the rep team, and my mom and dad, they kind of laughed. It was funny. I was like, "Oh yeah, go try out." I ended up making the team because there wasn't enough kids trying out. So they're like, "Oh, they were stuck in it," and I was, and I just fell in love with it right away. I kept my stick in my hand forever, and I went from I think I was like last place on the team in points to the next year I led the team, and my coach was like, "Who is this guy?" Like, and all I did when everyone was playing hockey and stuff, I just kept my stick in my hand and played wall ball in my basement. I one shot on my net in the winter, even though it was snowing, and like we go to Walmart or restaurants, I bring my stick. My mom's like, "You can't bring that in here." I'm like, "Why not?" Really?
I love that story because like right now all kids can do is play at home, and like some parents still don't see the value in it, right? Like you just
Yeah,
told the story, you went from being the worst kid to the best kid simply by just backyard lacrosse and basement lacrosse.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
and
Yeah.
like even now, like when I kind of this COVID started, and I really like realized, wow, like this could be a while. Like we could be stuck in here. I completely moved everything in my basement. It's unfinished, which is perfect. I bought a net, threw it in the corner, just like when I was a kid, and I hung up cardboard behind it so I don't break the walls. And I just fire my ball in my basement still, just like I was a kid. It was funny.
That's awesome, man. I love it. I noticed you got like a cement wall behind you. You bang some balls off
Yeah,
that?
yeah, the nice wall ball, and I get like hang up water bottles in the corners just like I did. Yeah, it's just like when I was a kid, and honestly, that's when I got better and better and better than everyone was what I did not at practice and not during the season. It was what I did in between, and that really stuck with me.
Yeah, that's great, man. Take us through your recruiting process. So being from Canada, coming over to the States to play for a big time, Big Ten program. How did that all work out for you?
My recruiting process is actually kind of crazy. So I started playing in Edge normally, and they're an incredible program. And I played a little bit with Nestle. They're actually not a program anymore, I don't believe. I believe 3D took it over. It was out of New England, though, with Matt Rowley.
Hmm.
And I was living at Ryder Garnsey's house for a bit with his dad and mom, and they're awesome. And so I could do the summer tour kind of thing. I did like 4 tournaments. And then I originally committed to Michigan, and I did that in about grade 10. So I went through the process all through high school, and I didn't get in academically. And I was told like 2 weeks before I was supposed to head off to college. So my freshman year fall ball just didn't exist. And I was actually a bartender. And I was like, okay, cut my losses. And I was a bartender, and I was going to join the NLL draft because I can do that. I was already in junior as a 17 or 18, and hope for the best. And then Bellermine actually called. And they called me about start of December, my freshman of fall, and they're like, "Hey, like we're private Catholic school. We got some money that we could give you. Would you want to come down in the spring?" And I was like, "Why not give it another shot?" Went down to Bellerman, played that spring. I believe I was on the ECC rookie team. We played some big schools like Ohio State. Like we played Denver, I think, Loyola, Air Force. It was ECAC expanded into new leagues, but it was pretty solid league.
Hmm.
Then my sophomore year, I jumped a lot. I think I led the team by more than 30 points. The next person next to me, and got over 50 points, I think. And it was a really good experience. I loved my teammates in the school, but I'm really competitive. Back home, my Whippy team, the Oshawa team, and field, we didn't lose a game.
Hmm.
Won that, and box were really good. Junior, we were really good. Won a Minto in 2013. So I was really competitive, and I always wanted to win. And I just wanted to find that competitive next level again. So I spoke to Jamie Monroe and Matt Rowley, and I I decided to transfer over to somewhere new, and they really helped me in the process. And went to OSU, and my junior year, I led the team in points, and we didn't have a great year, and we actually didn't make the Big Ten tournament, so that really grinded my gears because that was my competitive level trying to go up. And so my senior year, that was my last shot. I didn't even make playoffs in either the league playoffs or NCAA since then. Then my senior year it was a pretty incredible year. We fell short in the 2017 finals to Maryland, but just the overall process and coming together as a team and some tough losses, but some huge wins for the. I think we were 7-0 at one point. We still weren't even in the top 10, so we didn't get a lot of respect. And we played Denver on our senior day at home in the shoe, and they're number one. And we blew them out of the water. And that's when it was really like, wow, this is a real team. This team's legit. And then we went on and did really well and went to the tournament and experienced all that. And we were down. My favorite game was probably Towson. It was semifinals. We were down like 8-3 at half. Like we were getting beat pretty good. Myers came in. He's like, rock, chisel, hammer. Really good speech. Got us all fired up. Like, we're not going to beat them in the third. We'll beat them in the fourth. And rock, chisel, hammer, goal by goal. We go out. They win the draw, run down, score right away. We're like, oh, no. And we did exactly what Myers said. And we rock, chisel, hammer. We did goal by goal. And by the end of the fourth, we put us in a position to win. And we came back and won that game. And it was pretty electric environment. It was in Patriot Stadium. It was pretty cool. Bill Belichick came and talked to us for practice. And my whole college experience was really like, everyone thinks it's a straight road. Mine was absolutely crazy, and I actually preferred that. I learned so many lessons and became a better person on and off the field, athletically and through my schooling. So it really made me who I am today and gave me a much more respect for my work ethic. And I think it really, going to OSU, excelled and helped me with my pro career now.
Yeah, that's great, man. I mean, I think that's a great life lesson because a lot of
kids.
What's that?
A lot of failures and just kind of keep grinding.
Yeah, I mean, do you feel as though you kind of learned from each failure that you had along the way?
Absolutely, and I think honestly the toughest one was when like I didn't go get into Michigan and it was so close, and I had friends going off to school, and you've kind of felt like almost shame and like really failure. And I felt bad for my mom who worked so hard just to put me in a spot to have a chance to do that. And I didn't work hard enough in the classroom to earn it. When I did all the physical stuff and my mom did all the physical stuff, I really felt like I let her down. And I think that hurt the most. And I was kind of lost for a bit. And actually Derek Keenan, my box coach at the time, took me aside and talked to me about his experience. And it really helped me out, and he's an amazing world-class coach with Saskatchewan Rush right now. And I think that really helped me because he coached me all through minor and junior and senior. So I could have went two ways, and I'm glad I chose the way I did.
That's great, man. And then talk about going pro. Like, what was that process like for you when you made that transition from college to professional lacrosse?
I felt ready, which was good. Like, I was older, obviously, because a lot of guys, you can enter the NL draft if you're 18, 19, I believe the age, but guys who go to school can enter. And I think that's the norm now is guys are getting drafted at 23, 24, because most guys are going away to school now. It's crazy not to. You get your education paid for, and you really become a man. Like, that's when I really learned who I was and got a lot of life lessons. So I think it's huge going to school. And I felt really ready. Plus, senior, I played a lot of senior ball about a year or two before that because, again, you're at school, so you're older. So I played against the pros and playing against the best of the best. So I felt like I've played in that competition. So I felt a bit more ready. I felt physically ready and mentally ready. And the experience was awesome. I went 5th overall to Rochester Nighthawks. Then two of my OSU my roommate and one of my best friends, we went together from OSU, and we all three of us went top 6 and all from OSU. So that was a pretty cool experience. And also that helps too. Like, I went to the draft and to practice and tryouts with two of my best friends that I worked with at OSU and knew growing up. They played T-Mo when we were like U16, U19, band and Pee. We played together. So it was a pretty awesome experience overall. And OSU, I felt like really got me physically in shape and knowing what I need to do. So I felt ready for the draft or tryout. And It was a really good experience, made the team. And my rookie year, actually, we went to the NLL finals game, best of game 3 against Sask, and we fell short in the finals, but we started like 2-6. So like we had to grind that out. I think we won 8 of our last 9. And if we would have dropped one of those, we actually would have made the playoffs. Even though I think we won 7 of our last 8. In our last game of the year, we had to beat Buffalo in Buffalo just to get in the playoffs. So, like, even after winning 7 of 8, we weren't in the playoffs. Like, we put ourselves in a hole and really battled out. And we became a team. It was pretty cool. And having leaders like Sid Smith and Cody Jamieson, guys like that, it's pretty hard not to. They're pretty incredible guys and leaders and players. So it was a pretty cool experience. Again, like, doing all that my rookie year was what a roller coaster. I learned so many lessons, and seeing the cup and not winning that and actually losing it gave me an even bigger drive. Like, nah, okay, I want that. Like, I know that feeling. I want it.
That's awesome. How would you compare like the NLL playoffs to like the NCAA playoffs?
Really different. So it's hard. So like NLL actually NLL and NCAA are kind of similar. I was thinking of more summer ball. Summer ball is best of 7, and it's just an absolute grind. Like, you think of the NHL playoffs, like those guys go through war to win the Stanley Cup. And NLL too, like, that's why NLL and NCAA season games are so big, because that could be the difference in so much of your playoff placement, and even if you get in or not. With the 1 game knockout, it's crazy, right? Like, you could be the best team, but if you're not the best team that day, your whole season's gone. So it's really going to come down to who has the best culture, who wants it the most, because it's 1 game knockout. So if you take a game off and you don't have a great culture and you don't have that drive to win, you're not going to win that game, because in playoffs you have to step up your game. And that's something I pride myself on, is big games is always being there. And I think I've lived up to that, and that's one of my biggest things, is if you got to be able to play in the big games. Playoffs, that too. Like, I think I had my senior year at OSU, my points or whatever was the best in playoffs, and playoffs with Rochester, I think I was 2nd on the team and 3rd in the entire league. So I think that's huge. Is playoffs, you got to step up your game, and they're pretty similar because it is the 1 game knockout. And then again, you play away and home, and NLL's finals best of 3, so that's a little bit easier because we did lose the first and then won the second, so you get that extra chance. But the 1 game is crazy. Like, you could be the best team ever. It's almost like when Tom Brady and the Patriots, they're undefeated all year. They lost to the Giants in the Super Bowl. Like, they're easily the best team, but not that day.
Yeah, no, it's so true. I feel like in your career, just kind of talking to you, like each year you just get better and better and better. And I was just scrolling through your stats just out of curiosity, and I noticed your shooting percentage, because I like to look at that for some of the offensive players from 17 to 18, like, took a considerable jump. And I'm just kind of curious, like, why you're able to just propel yourself forward in such a short period of time from one NL year to the next.
I think there's 2 things. It's really one, like I said, like, I keep my stick in my hand year round. Like, I even have it right here just in case you're asking about it. Like, I always have my stick. If I go to a buddy's or I go anywhere, I'll at least have it in my car in case I need it or want it. Like, I always have it. So I think that's huge. And I don't think a lot of people, when I tell this, when I do camps or when I'm coaching, tell young kids, like, having your stick in your hand alone, you don't have to be shooting. You don't even have to do wall ball. Just having it in your hand, it becomes like a part of you. And that's huge. And you really figure out, like, I string my own sticks too. And so you really figure out where you want that ball, and you can just really feel it. And, like, it just becomes so natural. And like, just sitting in my couch or something, I have it. It becomes a part of you. And I think that's massive, and why I can take jumps every year and keep getting better and better. And also work, like, being more physical and learning new things in your diet. And I think learning the game is the second one. I watch a ton of film, and I won't even, like, sometimes we have a lot of cut film, but sometimes I'll just rewatch games and just really watch either a certain player or just, like, watch parts of the play, and I'll rewind it. And a lot of the times people watch and, like, you're just looking for the most exciting thing. But if you watch again, and like two players I love to watch is Ben McIntosh and Randy Stats.
Mhm.
Those two guys, they're righties. I feel like I play similar to them. Another guy, Shane Jackson, he's a lefty. But so those 2 or 3 guys, I love watching them and what they do. And so, like, even if the ball's on the left side, I'll be still watching Randy or Ben. Like, what are they doing?
Right.
When do they go set that pick? When do they shoot that shot? Like,
Sure.
where are they putting this ball and how are they leaning their body? And I think that's huge. Where I'm just trying to keep learning the game and getting better. Like, you're a rookie, like my rookie. I'm still young in my career, so I was a rookie and kind of just went in from what I know. And then I got to watch film on guys because I had it all,
Mhm.
not just games. And then the next year, like, what did I do? What are my strengths? So, like, if I go watch, say, like a Lyle Thompson, it's really exciting, but we have such different games. I'm going to learn some things because he's one of the best in the world, absolutely. But we have very different games. He's super athletic and different games. So if I watch, not that Randy and Ben and them aren't, but I play very similar to them. So I think I can learn more from guys that I play like and can
Mhm.
really almost not take stuff, but learn like, okay, I think I can do that really well.
Mhm.
And then maybe add a shooting from Randy, but a pick and timing from Ben. So I think stuff like that really helped me and helps me kind of keep getting better.
Yeah, I feel like it also kind of creates your own identity as a player. You know, people are going to watch you one day and just say like, "Wow, he he can't just." They're not going to say like, "Oh, he's just like that guy." They're just going to be like, "Wow, like he does this really well, that really well. He does this like that." But they can't pinpoint one thing just because you have such a diverse, comprehensive style of play, which is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's same with your shooting is a lot of guys like they're like, oh, he can do that shot or he can really hit that shot. But someone told me like, can you hit every corner with that same shot? And I
Right.
think that's something that always stuck with me because like, yeah, like I'm really good at the twister, I find. But can I hit that twister in different corners? Or if
Mhm.
not, the goalie's just going to know goalies watch probably more film than players because they are obviously getting scored on and they don't want that. And guys have tendencies no matter if you like it or not.
Mhm.
So it's can I hit an underhand low to low and low to high? Can I do an overhand twister to the top right, but also the bottom left? So it's being able to be different and have your own game because everyone has their strengths and you can't just, oh, I want to be like that guy. It's do you have those qualities and do you have a different quality? There's no point in trying to be someone you're not. Use your strengths to your advantage.
No doubt. Let's talk a little bit about because part of being a professional player is just having like partners and sponsors. So Epic is you're an Epic pro athlete. Talk a little bit about like your introduction to their company and just what it's been like kind of working with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So they contacted me actually before that I even got drafted my rookie year. James Maselli, he's the owner and we founder. We really connected well. I think that's something they do better than almost any company I can think of in the lacrosse world. Like Warrior and Under Armour might be a bit bigger right now, but
Hmm.
Epic is very family oriented and they're really close. And me and Jamie have talks all the time, and I've talked to other athletes and like, hey, like, do you know the owner or do you know like who you're talking to? Have you ever met them? Have you ever really? They're just like, no, we kind of just talk like here and there and go back and like forth kind of thing. Like, I know James and he's a really good guy. I know the guys that are working with the company and that's really cool to me as being you feel like a part of the company and what they're doing technology wise is pretty incredible. I think a lot of their gloves and their sticks, their heads, everything is awesome. Like they said, right made in USA too.
Hmm.
Um, so what they're doing is pretty cool. They really care about their athletes, and it's not just hey, what can I get out of you? It's hey, how can we help each other?
Yeah.
And I think that was something I really stuck to.
That's awesome. I also feel like it's such like it's kind of like an elite fraternity of guys. Like when they like when they like release who their pros are and when people hear like, oh, that guy's an Epic pro athlete, I want to know more about that guy. I'm not just like, oh, like whatever. It's just another sponsorship for that guy. It's like, oh, like why did Epic pick that guy? There's got to be a reason. Like that's why I'm excited to talk to you. But also I think the world is starting to realize like, oh wow, like it's kind of like a big deal to be an Epic pro athlete because like they don't just pick any random guy, and there's a reason behind it. So I think that's really neat. Well, listen, it's been a great, pleasure talking to you. I always like to kind of end the conversation, if it's okay with you, just give a piece of advice to a guy, kid who just like you, just aspires to play at the highest level, be competitive, and kind of be the best he could be.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing for me was grades, really. I mean, I could have had a nice, easy path right to college, and I was very fortunate to have a second opportunity, and that was because I didn't really think grades mattered. It's really all I can say is you get in what you put in.
Yeah.
You get what you put in. So, if you're not working on lacrosse and school and athleticism, like really getting better in the gym, really working on school and keeping your stick in your hand, then you probably don't want enough. And I can tell you right now, if you don't love lacrosse and really want to do it, Division One lacrosse not for you. You will hate it. It's a full time job, and you got to love it because it's a lot of hard work. So, yeah, again, keeping your stick in your hand and work ethic. Keep the grades up. Keep your stick in your hand.
Awesome. Well, awesome. It was great talking to you, man. We appreciate your advice.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.